saying goodbye to a leader and a friend. Looking back at the life of the mayor of Decatur and the news of his sudden passing. 2 shootings, one in Springfield, the other in Decatur. What happened and what police know tonight. Plus honoring a deputy who died in the line of duty. How his name will now live on forever.
A very hot and muggy day here in central Illinois, even some scattered storms. We'll let you know when the scattered storms wrap up and when some relief from this heat and humidity will arrive. Central Illinois' best source for news and weather starts now.
Central Illinois' most watched newscast. WAND News at 6.
City and community leaders in Decatur say they were stunned upon learning that the city's mayor had passed away. Mayor Mike McElroy died this morning suddenly at the age of 63. WAND's Doug Wolf and Sean Streety have team coverage tonight live at the Decatur Civic Center. Doug?
He is described as Decatur's biggest cheerleader. Mike McElroy, stricken during a time when the city says he suffered a medical emergency while driving on 22nd Street. He later died at a local hospital in full cardiac arrest. The mayor was well respected, even among his political opponents. He led city efforts to dredge Lake Decatur, redo downtown with the streetscape project, and to obtain a new police station on Southside Drive. People who knew him are grief-stricken over his passing.
We lost a super salesman for our community. He can't be replaced, but we'll try to do what we can on the council. We had disagreements, the mayor and I, but he had a great sense of humor. We'd always respected each other, and I appreciated that. Again, disagreements happen on issues, but we got along, and I always respect him for that.
Mayor McElroy was elected to the city council in 2003. He was elected mayor for a 2-year term, filling an unexpired seat. In 2011, he was elected to a 4-year term. In April of this year, he was elected to another 4-year term. He told me a few days after the election that that would be his final run for the office of mayor. And Sean, Mayor McElroy and I were friends. I talked to him right here in front of the Civic Center just a couple of weeks ago. Very proud of the weight loss he had been going through. He had taken off a lot of weight, looked in great shape, and obviously people today here at the Civic Center very grief-stricken.
And that is the recurring theme, a sad day for the city of Decatur, Doug. And for those who knew and worked with the mayor, who was affectionately called Tuna, this news comes as a tragic blow. In fact, some council members sharing their memories and condolences for the family of Mike McElroy today. Council members sharing their thoughts and how he made such a big impact on the city. All who knew him say he was Decatur's biggest cheerleader as well as its advocate.
One thing that everyone knew about Mayor McElroy was that he was Decatur's biggest cheerleader, always ready to tell anyone and everyone that he came into contact with about how great this city is.
And he improved and enhanced our local democracy in this very important way. I often said to Mayor McElroy, I deeply appreciate the time that you allow our citizens to speak and to hear them out.
We're all kind of in shock, but I will say that we lost a wonderful friend, someone that loved the community very much, and we all loved him. I worked with him. I sat next to him at all the council meetings. We were good friends, and he was the kind of person that was honest, and you trusted him. You knew exactly what to expect.
The newly hired city manager on the job 4 months now called McElroy an amazing man whose passing is a major loss, not just for the city, but the entire state. In fact, Governor Rauner issuing a statement today saying Mike McElroy was a champion for the city of Decatur, whose passion for the city was infectious. Now, Monday's city council has been canceled as the city pauses for a period of mourning. In fact, the flags outside City Hall tonight are at half staff. Julie Moore will serve as the mayor pro tem for the next 60 days. But for now, thoughts and prayers are with the family of Mike McElroy. Live in Decatur, Sean Streety, WAND News.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. And more details for you now. On our website, we have the entire news conference announcing the death of Mayor McElroy, which we brought to you live at 11 o'clock this morning. If you'd like to watch it, just go to WANDTV.com.
Now, first weather from Storm Center 17, home of the exclusive O'Brien Auto Park Urbana Storm Runner.
It has definitely felt like July here in central Illinois. A lot of sunshine. It's been hot. It's been humid. And even a couple of scattered to isolated storms have popped up, especially in east central Illinois and along into the south of I-70. And that's where we see those storms continuing tonight. Most of these have fired along some old boundaries that were laid out from storms last night. You can see some stronger of the storms moving to the south of Lafayette right now through portions of Clark County, Illinois into western Vigo County, Indiana. Another particular cluster now sledding across Richland County into Lawrence County, and now a flash flood warning has been issued for southern portions of Kankakee County. Not what that area needs because of the flooding that continues along the Kankakee River and the Iroquois River. Current temperatures, these are air temps, upper 80s in the east. We're in the low to mid 90s in the west. You factor in the humidity with it. Ouch, it is just downright miserable out there. We're seeing heat index values ranging from 100 to 111 in Jacksonville. A lot of sunshine. Polk Cadillac Buick GMC of Forsyth Tower Cam showing that. Notice a couple of fair weather puffy cumulus clouds in Warrensburg. Once the sun goes down, our shower and thunderstorm chances diminish. Clouds get out of here as well. It's going to be mostly clear tonight. Very muggy with overnight lows only settling out in the mid 70s. Coming up, I'll let you know when the next round of storms will approach and when those storms get through here and bring us some relief from this heat and humidity in just a few minutes.
Now here's more of what's making news. The Decatur Police Department says a man was arrested in connection for shooting a woman early this morning. Terrence Gibbs was arrested at the Macon County Courthouse while appearing in court on an unrelated case. Police say he allegedly shot and injured his girlfriend. He faces multiple preliminary charges, which include attempted murder. We'll provide details as they become available. Meanwhile, in Springfield, police there called to a home invasion and shooting in the 1700 block of East Stewart Street. 2 victims were shot in the torso, but Springfield police say the shooting victims are the ones who may be charged. They believe the 2 men are the suspects in the home invasion and were shot by an armed homeowner defending himself. The University of Illinois tentatively agreed to a $10 million contract with a national food service company called Sodexo. That's to provide meals for athletes and fans and premium seats at Memorial Stadium and the State Farm Center. It's a 5-year contract, but they're also working on an $8 million contract to provide concessions for all athletic facilities. Sodexo would provide everything from buffets for athletes to desserts and luxury suites.
Remembering a trooper lost in the line of duty. A special ceremony and dedication will allow his name to live on forever after a tragic crash claimed his life. How Illinois State Police are making that possible. Next.
A central Illinois highway is dedicated to a Douglas County deputy who died protecting it. Route 45 between Posodum and Tuscola will now be known as Tommy K. Martin Highway. Martin was shot and killed in the line of duty in June of 2007. 2 men opened fire on his squad car while he was trying to arrest them. Martin died a little less than a month later as the result of those injuries sustained during the shooting. Today marks the 8th anniversary of Martin's death, and now his legacy will live on in Douglas County.
And in Sangamon County, a state trooper killed on the job over 30 years ago was also honored today. Bernie Skeeters was killed when his state police car was hit by a semi whose driver fell asleep. It happened on the stretch of I-55 near Williamsville. Friends and family and fellow state troopers gathered to show their respect and to remind drivers about the importance of watching out for first responders.
When somebody's texting or driving, causing an accident, something like this, it's a tragedy, and it affects so many people. Not just the person that we lose, but so many people. Obviously, if you see emergency road vehicles at the side of the road, please pull over, give them some room.
Following that ceremony, a sign dedicating the overpass in Skeeter's memory was placed on I-55.
All right, and turning to weather now, it is blazing hot out there, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. But now some people are contending with some storms.
Yeah, we have some scattered storms in some parts of central Illinois, the heat and humidity in other parts. It's July, and it's typically like this. We've just been so spoiled this summer with temperatures well below normal much of the month, and now we're starting to feel the effects of summer. Highs across the area today. We topped out in the low 90s. My 3-degree guarantee, I went for a forecast high of 90. We actually hit 91 indicators, so that's a green check mark, another $50 in the bank. Now up to $600 for the Decatur YMCA. The backpack fun as those kiddos be going back to school very, very soon. Starting to see those school supplies trickling out in the stores. Highs in other locations, 93 Springfield, 94 today in Jacksonville. That was a warm spot. 89 in Danville, and 88 the cool spots in Taylorville and in Shelbyville. Your Stalls Furniture and Camera on the Sarah Bush Lincoln WeatherBug Network showing a lot of sunshine in Mattoon. Coming up, I'll show you where the storms are, when they'll get out of here, and also when some relief from the heat and humidity arrives after the break. Most of the showers and storms, at least in central Illinois, are done. They have moved off into portions of Indiana. Pretty strong cell right now just to the south of Terre Haute, to the north of Sullivan, Indiana. You can see just off to the east now of Danville near Crawfordsville, into the south of Lafayette, with another cluster of storms you can see moving through Kankakee. This is not what we want to see across Kankakee County or into northern Iroquois County. The Kankakee River absolutely flowing over its banks, and now a flash flood warning has been issued for the southern half of the Kankakee County area into northern Iroquois County. Right now in Charleston, 87 degrees. A beautiful look at Eastern Illinois University in the background. A dew point is 74. That is just downright sticky air out there. Wind out of the south-southwest at 13. Unfortunately, that wind feels more like a blast furnace this afternoon than it does any kind of relief. Payne, Waynesville, and Atlanta. Shay, Tanya, and Kevin, all three reporting in at 93. Shelbyville, Cassandra says it's 92. Bruce and Clinton reporting 91. And Shelby and Maroa checking in with us tonight at 90 degrees. I didn't get to show the temps last night. We were a little busy tracking the storms across the area, but every night at 6 o'clock, I'll show your temps on air if you send it to me on Facebook or Twitter. In the meantime, check out meteorologist Kevin Sherrick's page and meteorologist Adam DeRoso's pages. We'll be putting up video forecasts, and during severe weather, you'll actually get to see the tracks of the storms, and we'll put on some loops of the radar and satellite imagery so you can kind of track it along with us. And also, you can download our weather app on your smartphone or your tablet for free. It's a great piece of information you can have right there at your fingertips during severe weather. 82 right now in Danville, a little rain-cooled air. 88 in Champaign, 90 right now in Decatur, and it's 93 degrees in Jacksonville. Dew point temps, it is very tropical. This is the type of air we'd expect to see in Miami, Florida, or Jacksonville, Florida, not Jacksonville, Illinois, where the dew point now is up to 80, and this is the type of air you walk outside. I think the best way to describe it is the air that you can wear. Literally, it feels like it's on top of you, weighing you down. So when you take that air temp, you factor in the humidity, this is what it feels like area-wide. It's just a scorcher of an evening out there. Really not much relief over the next couple of hours. Notice by 8 o'clock, feels like temps still around 100 degrees. Out the door in the morning, our air temps will be right around 80, with feels like temps stretching to about 90. By lunchtime, heat index values again over 100, and by the evening hours, heat index value of 105 to 111 is possible. And even into the day on Sunday, our southeastern counties, places like Watseka, Champaign, Effingham to Vandalia southeast, frontal boundary not quite there yet. Still going to be very hot and muggy, but behind the front, some cooler and drier air will spill in. And that's good news because next week looks to be beautiful. Highs will go back in the mid-80s. Heat advisory continues until tomorrow evening for those counties highlighted in orange. Ford, Iroquois, and Warren until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. And Macoupa, Montgomery, and Fayette, our heat advisory continues until 8 o'clock on Sunday evening because of that front not quite making it that far to the south. So some heat tips again, make sure you hydrate and hydrate often. Hydrate before you go out and stay hydrated. If you know any elderly residents who don't have AC, check on them regularly, and also water and shade for our furry friends. Satellite radar showed those storms bubbling up out to the east of us, and now we'll see the shower and thunderstorm chances really wane after sunset. Frontal boundary to the north starts to slide to the south as we head throughout the daytime. Tomorrow will be dry, but then by Sunday morning, here comes round one moving through the area. Then round two will drop through as we head Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. And because of the heat and humidity and the front moving through, some of those storms could be strong to severe. So the Storm Prediction Center already has a slight risk for severe weather across all of central Illinois with damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rain as our primary threats. And we'll have you more information on that as we get a little bit closer. An isolated storm this evening, otherwise turning mostly clear and muggy down to 75 overnight tonight. Hot and sticky tomorrow. A lot of sunshine and heat index values of 105 to 110 with high temps in the low 90s. So if you're going to the pool tomorrow or the lake, slap on the sunscreen. It's at a 10. Our UV forecast brought to you by the Lee Institute of Skin and Laser means a burn time of 15 minutes. In your St. Mary's Hospital, 7-day forecast. Chance for some storms on Sunday, some of which could be very strong. There's that cool down Monday through Wednesday with sunshine highs in the mid-80s.
Year two of the Kim Dameron era at EIU will begin with some moderately high expectations. The Panthers picked by a panel of media voters to finish third in the Ohio Valley Conference. EIU battled back from a 1-5 start last season to finish third a year ago. Conference favorite Jacksonville State got 14 first place votes. EIU, you can see, just 1 point behind Western Kentucky for second. Illinois opens the season at Western Illinois on Thursday, September 3rd. Of course, that's Easter. It'll be hot and muggy this weekend for the Gus Macker 3-on-3 tournament in Decatur. Some quick info here. Games begin at 8:30 both Saturday and Sunday. At 6 p.m. Saturday, there's a dunk contest. Noon Sunday, a three-point contest, followed by a very popular bench press competition at 1:30. It's decision day. Drafted baseball players had until 4 p.m. Central to decide if they wanted to sign with their pro franchises. That affected 3 Illini underclassmen who officially were undecided until today. Last month, catcher Jason Goldstein announced he would come back, and now add to the list shortstop Adam Walton and pitcher Nick Blackburn, who will be a couple of the few familiar names on the lineup. Ryan Nagel was taken in the 27th round by the Pirates, and he did sign. Easier decisions for juniors Tyler Jay and Kevin Duchesne. Both top 5-round pitchers have already begun their minor league careers. Sometimes the All-Star break seems just a bit too long. Baseball back this afternoon. Royals and White Sox, part of a day-night doubleheader. Bottom 5, Sox trailing 2-1. Adam Eaton, 6 homers in the first half, and he had one in his third at-bat of the second half. Solo shot tied the ball game at 2, but half an inning later, KC, top team in the AL, already back out in front. Alex Rios facing Jeff Samardzija. The ball was flying at the cell today, capped off all scoring in a 4-2 Royals win.
The play of the day on WAND is brought to you by Menards.
Round 2 of the British Open had some interruptions, weather forced delays, eventually a postponement. Leader Dustin Johnson did not finish, but he remains in control. Birdie on the 4th, rolls it around and in. He's 10 under, 5 holes left in his second round. The unfinished rounds resume at 7 a.m. local time Saturday. One more look at the forecast coming up next.
It's a muggy night, but it's Friday and it's summer and it feels like it.
It's a great night for the pool. Most of the storms now have exited off into portions of Indiana. They were isolated in nature. You can see those on Live Doppler 3D Max. Most of the activity now east of a line from Watseka, Danville to Paris. And once the sun goes down, those shower chances will quickly diminish. It's still going to be mostly clear tonight. It's going to be muggy. We'll see temperatures only dropping back into the mid-70s for overnight lows in your St. Mary's Hospital 7-day forecast. Low to mid-90s tomorrow with a heat index value of 105 to 110. 89 on Sunday, but by Sunday afternoon, a cold front will come in, bringing a chance for some strong to possibly severe thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center already having a slight risk out for central Illinois. Main threats would be gusty winds, very heavy rainfall, and some hail. And look at next week, very nice, Monday through Wednesday, with sunshine and highs in the low to mid-80s.
Thanks, Stacey. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tonight at 10. We've been busy all day, and now this year's Spirit of Giving is wrapping up. WAND's Dawn Sterling is live with the very latest on our toy drive. Dawn?
6,583 toys. It is quite amazing, the spirit of giving in this community. And joining me now is Santa Claus. I don't know how you want to be introduced quite, but let's talk about how many years have we been doing this at WAND?
This is our 7th year, and by far this has beat the highest total we've ever had by more than 1,000.
What do you think contributed to that?
You know, I think it was weather. We've had multiple sponsor locations that really helped with this year. Toys for Tots and the Salvation Army really put a lot of boxes that are out there. And the good news is, even today when we're close to approaching, almost 7,000 toys, we're going to be leaving the boxes out at our sponsor locations until the 21st of December, and they'll be able to collect those. So if you did miss a chance to come up here today and drop off a toy, you go to the sponsor locations, you can donate cash or any type of toy until the 21st.
And you can still give, and some stragglers are still coming in, and that's okay. We're here to take them. We are cleaning up, and it's going great, and we can't thank you enough. It has been a wonderful day for weather-wise, and this is just spoke to the community. I know a few years ago it was hard times, and it showed and it reflected in the numbers. So it's just so good to see how many people coming out and giving today, and we thank them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we had almost 4,000 people apply this year because of the needy toys. So I mean, this was a huge year for us, and we could not have done it without the Central Illinois community giving.
All right, thank you. And we'll be back at the end of the show to tell you how many toys we collected, our final number. Back to you.
It reads meth manufacturing materials, and these evidence bags are common in Christian County, leading to arrests and putting users and meth cookers behind bars.
We have a drug problem. Drug addicts will use whatever they can get their hands on.
Police say these drugs are being found in homes and neighborhoods like this. So we went to several former meth houses where people with children were unaware of possible health problems, living where caustic chemicals saturated the walls and floors.
I can't smell nothing, so I don't know, and I wouldn't even know what to smell for. I would imagine it would smell like a gas or something.
What I'm concerned about is the kids, the little kids, crawling on the floor and the carpet where the residues are left.
We spoke with an undercover detective who says he's busted several meth labs inside these homes.
I don't give them much of a warning. Obviously, our search warrants require us to knock and announce. We do that. We give them ample time to answer the door. If they don't, then we breach the door.
The detective says he's also seeing users shake and bake, combining household items like lithium found in batteries, drain cleaner, pellets from an ice pack, shaking them in a bottle, burning at 1,400 degrees.
Once that lithium has made it through the plastic bottle, you've basically got a blowtorch that's getting ready to turn into an inferno. People are walking down the streets with these in their backpacks, the houses next to schools, churches. You never know where they're going to be.
The side effects of meth are telling. Many have sores across their faces from scratching. Others, like this teen, say they've seen it firsthand. After his uncle was arrested for cooking meth inside the house, he now calls a home.
After, some of the stuff that he used to make it, some of the old kerosene and stuff like that was still in here, but we got rid of it.
Just one of many families in Christian County affected by the drug, learning firsthand of the dangers lurking behind some of the doors in this small community.
We try to help him as much as we can and stuff like that, but sometimes it's like he doesn't want help.
In rural Christian County,
it's crazy what's going on here.
There's a cloud of cancer hanging over the town of Palmer.
Breast cancer.
Cervical and breast.
In 2013, I was diagnosed with lung cancer.
Oral cancer.
I had it metastasized in my brain, and I had to have brain surgery.
It's a nightmare. Every day you wake up and think, this is going to be over.
229 people live here. Growing numbers are getting sick. Luann Stone started asking questions.
When there started to be a lot of people diagnosed in just our block with cancer, 4 out of 5 houses.
We have a lady right catty-cornered from me, a gentleman right here catty-cornered from me.
So many cases, Luann started keeping track of them.
Esophageal, bladder, skin, oral, kidney, brain, bone, lymph node, colon.
A lady down the street had breast cancer, and my niece across the tracks had breast cancer.
My uncle was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he passed away.
Just how many cases of cancer there have been in Palmer is in question. The most recent numbers from the state of Illinois were back in 2012. We asked for more recent numbers, and they declined to give us that information. Luann has been tracking them. 29 cases in the past 3 years, over 80 in the past 15 to 20 years. Again, in a town of 229.
8 breast cancers in 3 years.
It's really scary. It's like it's starting to invade us around here,
My aunt lives 2 blocks down. She had cancer.
What's causing the cancer? Is it in the air, the water, or in the ground? That's the big mystery here in Palmer. The town had a coal mine at one time, and residents say test holes were drilled by the EPA in the late 90s at the site of an old gas station.
The EPA still has the test holes here. They haven't came back and checked them, but it's also not been cleared as safe.
Some people smoke, others do not. Some have had genetic testing.
It came back environmental, not genetic. 5 of the people that I know of that have had the gene test done, it's came back environmental. I believe it's something maybe in this town.
When it's a small town like this, and it's just this close to you, it's just like it's closing in on you.
What can be done? Luann would like to see government testing.
I'd like to see them come down here and test the soil and the water and the air and give us some answers.
It's too late for me, but it's not too late for somebody else, and it needs to be caught.
Clinging to hope the cause of these cancers can be found.
Who's going to be the next one? It's just like waiting for the bomb to drop or something.
I hope and pray, and God willing, I won't get another cancer.
Every day, you have to look in the mirror and see the scars, and it's hard.
Fear and not knowing when and where cancer will strike again in Palmer. For the I-Team, Doug Wolf, WAND News.
an athletic department that makes headlines more than its teams. Few would disagree. The Department of Intercollegiate Athletics at Illinois has been a mess.
It's been a challenge, no question. It's been a rough 6, 7, 8 months right now.
An email scandal took down Illinois Chancellor Phyllis Wise. She resigned her position, citing external issues. A football scandal took down coach Tim Beckman, fired after reports of medical mistreatment and player abuse within the program. The full release of that investigation report took down athletic director Mike Thomas. That day, interim Chancellor Barbara Wilson glowed about Thomas in the press conference announcing the decision to get rid of him. Then why did he have to go, she was asked.
There have been distractions in the last several weeks, just had lots of distractions.
But every time those of us in a 90-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana look up, we see some other stupid, idiotic maneuver at the U of I.
State Senator Chapin Rose has 2 degrees from the University of Illinois.
We've got all these people that don't do anything on the payroll. Just paid the athletic director a couple $1 million. We just can't take any more of it.
Those on campus don't necessarily disagree, including interim athletic director Paul Kowalczyk.
The last thing we want to do is go around making wholesale changes right now at any level.
Kowalczyk has spent much of the time since his appointment meeting with staff, making similar assurances. Football coach Bill Cubitt has made his case.
People asked if you want it. Yes, I want it. Am I the best guy? Yeah, in my mind I am.
But Kowalczyk said even he doesn't know which full-time position will be filled first. But he hinted one decision is more pressing than others.
The fan base out there wants to know what's going on with football, and I think that's critical.
This, as even the AD candidate list is shrinking. Colorado Athletic Director Rick George is a 1982 graduate of Illinois. Thursday, George got out ahead of any offers and said if Illinois did, he would gracefully decline. Controversy aside, Illinois' merry band of interims have to push forward.
This school has a tremendous history, has an outstanding culture. We're coming up on 150 years. I mean, there's a lot to be proud of. There's a lot to sell.
A hard sell, since even someone considered their own isn't quite ready to buy.
Sean Streety is live at the Kroger's East with the very latest. Sean?
I think I said at 5 it was only a matter, the question wasn't if, it was a matter of when the community would step up to meet that goal. And just moments ago, that was announced, smashing that goal of 1,040,000 pounds. The final tally, 1,271,080 pounds of food collected here in the 14th annual community food drive. And that goal has only gone up over those 14 years, as has the need, primarily with Catholic Charities and Salvation Army food pantries, where this food will go as of Monday morning. Also others will benefit, including likely Northeast Community Fund and others. But one man who's been here since 6 a.m. when it all started is Kevin Brahini with J.L. Hubbard Insurance and WSOY. And Kevin, it has to amaze you. It's an incomparable goal and an incomparable accomplishment.
What a great day for the needy in this community. What a great day to bring a community together. This city of Decatur and Macon County ought to feel good about themselves. This is the biggest food drive that I've heard in the entire country. And it's right here in Decatur, Illinois, taking care of our own.
And you know, it starts small and also big, those donations. Anybody you want to tip your hat to?
Oh gosh, where do I begin? You know, we had a young guy come in and give $6, and we've got Mickey Andreas and his foundation given $20,000. We got the Buffett Foundation $100,000, ADM $160,000. It's everybody, all those businesses. Brian Byers. WAND, WSOY, Herald Review, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin Brahini. I know you'll be rooting on your Cardinals tonight against those Cubs. We might have a little business to take care of after this live shot. But Kevin Brahini sums it up. Decatur, Macon County should be very proud of yourselves. Of course, those donations can always continue to be made through Catholic Charities as well as the Salvation Army. What more can you say? 1.2 million pounds of food raised in this 14th annual community food drive. Live, Sean Streety, WAND News.
You may have heard that saying, laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. Well, that's what it was like today, celebrating the life of Decatur Mayor Mike McElroy. WAND's Sean Streety alongside with Doug Wolf beginning our team coverage tonight after attending the mayor's funeral earlier today. Sean?
That funeral mass saw hundreds of people gather to pay their final respects today. In fact, the casket was quietly brought in to Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Decatur just after 11 this morning. The mass reflecting McElroy's Catholic faith. People who knew him best shared their stories of how the man nicknamed Tuna always put his family first, along with faith and, of course, service to the city he loved so much, Decatur. His best friend told of his love of the Decatur celebration and his uncanny ability to sweat.
This white towel is part of Tuna's life at the celebration, because everywhere you went, Tuna had this towel right here. Or if it was hot, right here, with plenty of ice. One particular day, it's a Saturday afternoon, and it is hot. I mean, it's hot, it's humid, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm way down at the end of the street, and I'm walking, and here comes Tuna. And his face is sunburned, and his hair was windblown, and it was really big, you know, and he's sweating profusely. And I look up, I walk to him, and he says, he sees me chuckling. He said, "What's so funny?" I said, "Tuna, I swear, you look like Moses coming on down off the mountaintop."
Just one of the funny stories shared. Father Joe Malloy said Mike McElroy was Mr. Decatur, a title that summed up his life as mayor and before. He said his wife Lynn can take comfort knowing hers was the last voice he heard before his death. A morning of remembrance and a tribute to a man who never knew a stranger and helped improve the city of Decatur. And of course, following that beautiful funeral mass was also an impressive display for the city as well.
A procession from Our Lady of Lourdes on the north end of town all the way to downtown. Have to remember, Sean, the mayor served here at the Decatur Civic Center for about a dozen years, both as mayor and city councilman. This afternoon, he returned for one final time.
In the shadow of Stephen Decatur on a beautiful July afternoon, the funeral procession returned the mayor to the Decatur Civic Center one final time. Mayor McElroy, legal name Mike, but affectionately known in this city as Tuna.
I think he's a very nice guy. He always talked to me most every time he saw me. Miss him already, yes.
Tuna, with a sea of cars and people showing their appreciation for the man who led our city.
I thought he was a good man, and I thought I'd try and pay my last respects.
The working guy's mayor, elected 3 times, always a cheerleader for his community.
The mayor was always friendly to everyone. He loves Decatur, probably more than anyone I've seen.
He's one of a dozen that you could go to in the state of Illinois and ask a question and he'd give you a straight answer.
Bagpipes playing, the hearse carrying the mayor stopped briefly in front of the Civic Center before proceeding 1 block to the Knights of Columbus Hall, where family and friends gathered.
I think he was a very nice guy, very nice.
Mike Tuna McElroy, leader, common guy in this industrial city.
Sean, Mayor McElroy's legacy will certainly go on for decades to come.
A fitting tribute to a man this city will definitely miss. For Doug Wolf, I'm Sean Streety, live in Decatur. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Well, our celebration of Mayor McElroy's life continues on our station website. You're going to find a tribute page there with all of our coverage of the mayor's passing and celebrating his life as well. Just go to our homepage. It's WANDTV.com and click on Remembering Mayor McElroy.
It's one of the few lifelong activities out there. Pool, a fun hobby for some and a professional endeavor for others. And those two sides will mix this weekend in Decatur. It's a unique opportunity for some of the best young pool players in Decatur. The American Mosconi Cup team is coming to town.
Something analogous to the Ryder Cup in golf.
It's a straightforward analogy. The Mosconi Cup is a group of the best players in the U.S. versus the best team from Europe. So in a way, it's like having Tiger Woods, Jim Furyk, and others come teach young golfers in the Soy City.
That's where I want to be one day. I mean, that's my dream.
Timmy Bly won a national title this year and looks forward to getting a few more pointers.
They helped me with my stroke. My stroke's a lot smoother now. They've helped me with my bank shots, my combos.
It's also great for Warrensburg Latham senior Serena Black, who has a couple of national championships and already has plans to play in college.
It's basically an opportunity for them to work with the youth and give us a sturdy foundation of what to work on, give us an opportunity to see what it's like to compete at a professional level.
What's amazing is that a Decatur youngster was in the top 2 of each of the national tournament's 3 tiers in 2015. And it all starts here. Encouragement for something fun that can last a lifetime.
As we give up our other sports in our 20s or 30s or before, pool is one of those sports you never have to give up.
With the help of some professional advice, many local kids will forever do it at a high level.
For years, Patricia McKnight was abused. She says her stepfather sold her to other men for sex, sometimes while looking down the barrel of a shotgun.
He called me up to his bedroom. I was 12, and he made me strip in front of their bedroom bay window area at gunpoint, laid me down, pushed me down on the bed, told me if I ever spoke up, he'd make sure that he blew my head off from the inside out.
Patricia says for years she was abused, passed around with fear for her own life. She says by 16, she was forced to have sex with up to 60 men.
I'm talking 10 guys showing up in the middle of the night on a Friday night, and I'm the toy. I'm the one that's sent from lap to lap to lap. I'm the one that they're feeding with alcohol.
For her, it started at age 9. And there are dozens of cases just like hers in central Illinois. Forced into sexual acts against their will, causing bodily and mental harm, damage lasting a lifetime.
I've been tied up with phone cords and abandoned in a bedroom for a couple of days. I've been beaten, 2 broken collarbones, broken ribs.
Fortunately, there's help. Help from people like Dana Pfeiffer of Grounds of Grace, a group based in Springfield, trying to stop sex trafficking in its tracks.
It is a big money maker, and it follows right along the traffic lines of drugs. So where you're finding drugs, you're more than likely going to find human trafficking.
Dana says Grounds of Grace helps around 30 clients a week, getting referrals through local, state, and federal law enforcement.
It's more hidden than it is in the bigger cities. It has affected as small as 2 years old in this area, and our oldest victim has been 68 years old.
It's one of the reasons lawmakers like Rodney Davis are taking action, pushing bills through Congress to stop human trafficking.
We're going to do some things on the top end to ensure that the web-driven trade of sex trafficking victims and human trafficking victims is stopped, and also that those who are actually engaging in the trade are going to be held to higher standards and punished at the furthest extent of the law as they should be.
Davis says there's a need to get victims out of the situation before it escalates, a sentiment echoed by Patricia, now looking back on her life.
You don't do that to a child. There is no child that ever born that deserves that type of cruelty. But when you have such evil that goes on for so very long, how can you not remove that child? How can somebody not be concerned enough to say something?
Patricia says while her start in life was rough, she's since turned it around, ending a life of sex, drugs, and alcohol, and starting one with kids of her very own, plus a book to help women just like her, and new friends who continue to help her through her journey.
Men in hard hats.
My husband passed in December 14th from larynx and esophageal cancer.
An environmental cleanup in a residential neighborhood.
They said our property, it was lead, and I believe it might have been arsenic.
Contaminated soil and the belief among some residents that it may be causing cancer, breast cancer in one woman.
And I went through all of the treatment and stage 3 and lymph nodes at 39 years old.
There are people that are younger than they should be getting very, very bad cancers that you wouldn't expect.
The culprit? The 100-acre Hegler Superfund site, closed in 1954. It is a toxic soup of waste, including arsenic and lead, blowing in the winds into the Hegler neighborhood.
The contamination in this yard is horrible. In this area, it's horrible.
I went out of the neighborhood and I can't sell my house now.
A mountain of trouble. Slag, a waste product from zinc smelting, nearly 55 feet high, over 6 acres. Slag used as fill in driveways, alleys, and along some roads in Hegler and Tilton. A $4 million cleanup, digging up 2 feet of dirt on 39 properties.
For each individual property, we anticipate 5 to 7 days from removed from excavation to putting down clean sod on top.
Dirt trucked out of the neighborhood, but not dumped in an EPA-approved landfill. When they dig up the dirt, it doesn't have to go far at all. In fact, they're bringing it right back to where it started, at the Hegler zinc site.
If it contaminated this area before, why is it not going to do that again?
I mean, they've been testing this ground ever since we've been living here, and there's never been anything done about it. So why now?
EPA says the dirt will be moved again as part of a future cleanup on the zinc site.
I want to know why they are only doing a certain area of my yard and not my entire yard.
The cleanup is only on land EPA says is contaminated. Lots that are an island of green squeezed into a patchwork of properties where dirt is being removed.
My mom owns a house on the main drag. She wanted it tested. They refused to test it. They said it's fine.
For years, the residents of Hegler have been told there is no threat to public health. Yet residents map out homes with yellow stickers where people have been diagnosed with cancer, pink stickers for dogs with tumors. Some cancers found in the nick of time.
And thank goodness, because they said it was aggressive and I would have 6 months.
Multiple cancers, all on the same block.
So within a few houses of each other.
Yeah, about 100 feet maybe.
And a stricken parent.
When she owned the house before she moved to Georgetown, breast cancer twice.
A partial cleanup, full of fear it is not enough.
Some of your neighbors have had cancer as well.
Oh yes, and passed away. We've lost them.
Maybe we're fortunate or not fortunate, however you look at it, that they didn't just call this like Love Canal and close the whole thing down and ship us all out of here.
Arsenic and old lead from a plant shuttered decades ago. For the I-Team in Hegler, Doug Wolf, WAND News.
The crash happened here on Route 121 in the tiny town of Heman, located between Warrensburg and Latham. Macon County deputies say the call came in just after 8:30 and help responded as quickly as possible.
Latham Fire and Warrensburg Fire was both on scene. They identified that the vehicles were fully engulfed and was working hard to put the fires out.
Witnesses said the crash was terrifying.
By the impact of the two vehicles, they already caught on fire and slid across the street in flames.
And just moments after the crash, one passerby caught video of the fire.
It was the worst noise I ever heard in my life whenever it exploded.
And for one man who saw what happened, he says the only reaction he had after seeing it was to go and try and help those who were hurt.
My adrenaline kicked in and I just started tearing the truck up and trying to put the fire out and get the guy out if he had any chance of survival.
Knowing that there was a chance that you could get hurt while trying to help these people, did that deter you at all, or did you just feel like helping no matter the injury was the way to go?
No, by the time my adrenaline kicked in, it was more like try to save everybody. It didn't matter, if I was going to get hurt or whatever.
At this time, the sheriff's office has been unable to identify the victims due to the amount of burn damage to the vehicles. Once they are able to, they will contact family members before releasing that information. In Heman, Ed Cross, WAND News.